The Empire, they claimed the land for the Emperor and dammed up Nasma Klain, the sacred river. Nasma Brani, it's a temple, or what's left of it, that once sat on the mighty river.
Everybody ready?
Yeah, I'll be ready.
Hello, and welcome back to Aldahni. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of progress done. We'll start just with an overview at this wide angle, and then we'll go to a couple more close-up shots. You can see here that I finished Nasma Klain, or the Sacred River, or at least I don't know in universe if it has a new name for like the reservoir that the Empire creates out of it. But all I do know is that at one point it was Nasma Klain, the Sacred River, and you can kind of see back there, but ultimately you're not really going to be able to see too far back there, which is why I put, let's see, Cinta and Vel in the front there, so they're just sort of gliding along there with their little like jet thingy. I'm not sure what that's called either, but they were kind of the most important part of like doing this, and the rest was sort of making it look visually interesting. Also, as part of my mocks for BrickSlopes, I like to incorporate parts that I got as part of like coming to BrickSlopes, not just parts that I buy. And so I figured out how to use these gloves from the Mario line, and so I made little like sea snails, or some sort of crustacean, yeah. But we'll take a closer look later. As you can see, I've got a couple of the TIE fighters out and up on the river, and those look really good. I think I am going to try and space them out a bit more, mainly moving that rear one forward a bit, but that will come later. And then you can see the sky in the back there, all done in light aqua. I ordered quite a few of those light aqua panels, as you can see down there. There should be 300 that I ordered. They were really cheap, but I think they'll look good as far as the sky goes. You can also see there in the back that I made some little like mountains, just sort of to give an illusion of depth. And then we'll take a closer look, but you can see the pillars on Alkenzi. Those are, for the most part, finished. Eventually, I do want to get some inverted tiles and put those on like the one side to finish it off. But as far as it goes, it should be fairly complete. And I added in some more lights, and now that Nasma Klain is finished, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the light. I suppose before we do that, I should mention that I finished the frame, so those are the two unfinished sections right there. You can see how long this MOC will end up being, but I think it'll work out well. I did include the label right there on the front, though that one in particular, and possibly all of them, I think I may change out. I got from Bricks and Pieces on the Lego website, I got a whole bunch of the typewriter keys, so I may change those out, and hopefully make that more visible. Yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and show you what the MOC looks like right now with the lights turned on. So this is what it looks like right now. The light isn't completely off, because if I do that, then that's essentially what that looks like with the light completely off. Um, so right now I've just got the light dimmed, but as you can see, I put in some red lights on or underneath a few tiles on that wall, and I think that really juxtaposes well with the blue of Nasma Klain. And so, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And the black light, it's done a good job of illuminating that area and like creating a lot of light. But unfortunately, because I thought that it might spread more on like, because I've got the neon yellow frogs down there, and some coral pieces, but they don't quite light up that well. Though luckily above, you can see there, we'll take a closer look, but you can see the lasers from the TIE Fighter. I've used trans neon yellow, or I've used trans neon green, and those do still light up from the black light. Um, and so, yeah, that'll be really cool. Yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and we'll start taking a closer look. So, taking a closer, more in-depth look at the progress I've made. You can see I used a bunch of those neon yellow frogs as like little plants. And then down in the front here, you can see sort of those little crustaceans that I made out of the Lego Mario like glove piece. I think that looks pretty good. But then if we move up, there you can see Cinta and Vel. I ended up using the First Order, the torso, because it has a more different design, but still a like sleek black sort of suit design. And then I haven't decided, because on one hand, so on that figure I've got the little like mouthpiece. Let me see if I can't get them at an angle that you can see that. Here, we'll flip them over. So flipping them over, you can kind of see that those are what they look like on the other side. And I'm not sure. I'm thinking that I probably want to go with that design, but the problem is that from the back you can't really see that piece, that little like mouthpiece that they've got. However, the Monkey Kid slash Ninjago like underwater breather, I think looks good from the front, but from the back I'm not super sold on it. So if you want to let me know which design you think is better, let me know. But I will end up changing to one or the other. Just not quite sure which one. And then you can see that in the support pillars I've got some fish. I just put quite a lot of fish in there. And then I tried in the back, and it's a little hard to see from like standing level, but I tried to build the ruins of the sacred temple, because you briefly, very briefly, I think it's only for like one shot, do you actually see those underwater. And so we've got a bunch of like fish swimming through those, and then in the back there we've got another one which at the top, so you can see on that one it's only the half dome, whereas that one there, if I can get the focus right, right about there, you can see it's full. So the idea was basically that this one in the front is more destroyed when compared to the one in the rear. But yeah, as far as underwater goes, I mean, I put the ruined TIE fighter down there as just sort of interesting like piece of visual for people to see, and then put a bunch of different like sorts of plants and stuff, and oh yeah, there it is. Sort of an old ruins of a tree type thing. But yeah, I don't know. Not super interesting visually, but also more interesting than it needs to be, I suppose. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, you can see a whole bunch of different fishies in there. But yeah, that's, there's always a bigger fish type deal. But yeah, with this one, there really wasn't a whole lot to work with, and so I got to sort of explore and do my own thing. Normally, I'm really for snot techniques. However, I think here, using studs on the ground, exposed studs, actually works out well for sort of creating some sort of texture for the bottom of the river. But yeah, and so if you notice the TIE Fighter wreckage down under the river, you may wonder what is on top. And right now, it's definitely not the final design, but right now I've just placed the dolphin on top there. Again, definitely not the final design. I'm not sure what I want to put there. I do want something to sort of break up the just solid river, but we'll work that out in future installments. Let's see here. So you can see, even with the light on, you can see that those transparent neon yellow, or keep saying that, neon green pieces, that those are there, and that they are glowing. Again, we'll just dim the light a little bit. So yeah, so you can really see that they still glow in the dark, but turning the light back up, um, you can still see that they kind of glow, but with the light fully on, they definitely look more normal. But so those are just coming out the front of the TIE Fighter. Um, and let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that from another angle. So there you have it from the front, sort of what that TIE Fighter looks like, and what those missiles look like. I think it looks well, or looks good, especially for like downsizing it. Because again, I want them to scale somewhat well as far as like the Rono trawler goes, and particularly as the hangar goes, which you can see that I did end up using a whole bunch of ladder pieces to sort of create the catwalk that the TIE pilots would get down into their TIE fighters on. Now, I don't think I'm going to have one hanging up, but I just sort of decided to put that there for this video to kind of show the scale of like how those things would work. Obviously, the TIE fighter would be a little higher elevated. Right now, it's just sitting on the base of that like open doorway. But yeah, the open doorway, I guess I did end up putting in few glow in the dark pieces up top, as well as that little Star Destroyer bridge. Not sure, I don't know, it felt like a good fit, because I needed some sort of tile there to keep the structure intact. So that's basically what I ended up going with. I think the only other thing that I really want to take a look at right now are those pillars in back. And so you can kind of see them from the front. They've got a whole lot of glow-in-the-dark studs in them. Or not studs, tiles. But so let's go ahead and we'll kill all the lights, actually, and show you what that looks like. So you can barely see, just with my recording limitations, you can barely see those, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'll take some photography and we'll put it over this footage, but basically it looks really cool, and for me it looks a lot like how it does in the show. I know we only see it for like a couple shots, but I think the sort of disparate and almost random placement of those glow-in-the-dark pieces really works, and really accomplishes that effect. It is just sort of unfortunate that it needs to be really, really dark to actually like get the effect. Um, so there's a good chance that it may not be captured in general. But oh well, I still went through the effort of doing it. I still think it looks cool. And at the end of the day, I think that's really what matters most to me in building this mock. Um, but yeah, I think that's really about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mock update. I know it's a little shorter than the other ones, or at least I think it will be. Um, but yeah, I really hope you guys are enjoying the series. It's gone on longer than I thought it would, but that's okay because I really want to go really in depth with this one. Um, so yeah, if you're enjoying, please leave a like, please share, and yeah, for now, that's it. So bye bye.